102.5 FM and 1180 AM. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Bringing you the best in Blount County sports since 1978. Featuring the Greenfield Gunner, Mike Edwards, former Maryville Scott, Donnie Moore, and from the
Maryville
Daily
girls
Times,
basketball,
Marcus Fitzsimmons.
For over 90 years.
Fat fingers. Go.
Donnie, I'm not over 90 years, whatever you had on
No,
there.
I just,
I'm getting close, but I'm not there yet.
I had fat fingers and hit two buttons at once.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Edwards, the Greenfield Gunner, and I'm here at the Bluetick Tavern in downtown Maryville, along with Blount County Sports Hall of Famer Donnie Moore, longtime sports writer Marcus Fitzsimmons, Daily Times sports reporter Caleb Giroux, and Carson Newman assistant football coach Tony Ierulli. And this is the GoTeez SportsPage. Rick Barnes and his Tennessee Vols try to avoid a Kentucky sweep, and we're going to the whistle blows. And now let's set today's lineup card. Donnie Moore will report on the latest high school basketball scores involving Blount County high school teams, and we'll follow up with some national sports stories. Marcus Fitzsimmons and Caleb Giroux will be on board to update us on what's happening in local high school sports. Marcus will present his feature Mark It Down and the Anderson Lumber Company Player of the Week segments. Maryville High School girls hoops are on the agenda. I'll talk some Tennessee basketball as we look back on the Vols week and then spring forward to preview today's game with Kentucky. We'll also weigh in on some auto racing and the Super Bowl. The letter rip segment is set to go, so let's break the huddle and dive right in. Good morning, everybody, and it's nice not to have half a foot of snow out there.
Yeah, we got here with no problem today, huh?
Yeah.
It is a pleasure. You know, like I told you guys earlier, we had started our early morning workouts up at Carson Newman, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
on Monday.
Wow.
On Tuesday and Thursday, a couple inches of snow,
Yeah.
and we had guys out there running around there just in shorts and T-shirts and yeah. So.
Keep that weather in Indiana, Mike. We
Yes.
don't need that
Well,
weather.
I tell you what, and I told you this a couple of weeks ago, when Indiana won the national championship in football, they decided to let the whole country celebrate by having about 2 weeks of the worst weather you've ever
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
The worst
Congratulations.
weather,
Seriously.
the prime of Indiana weather for 2 weeks.
Oh, boy.
But, anyway, looks like we're through it this morning. Next week looks like it's going to be a little spring down here.
Hope
Get
so.
a touch of spring, and we'll see what happens. But I got the letter rip segment going this morning, and I know the Olympics are coming up, so I want to talk about one of the participants. This past week, U.S. Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn took a nasty spill preparing for the games, injuring her ACL. This past Tuesday, she announced that she would still be attempting to compete in the downhill. I've seen a lot of miracles in the Olympics in my 75 years on this earth, but Lindsey competing for a medal in her condition is certainly a stretch beyond reality, in my opinion. It's a tough break for Lindsey Vonn, especially a skier who has certainly had her disappointing moments when it comes to the Olympics. The best decision she can make at this point is step aside and let a skier at full speed compete. I don't know. You guys were talking about it a little bit before the show, but how do you feel about it, Coach Ierulli? Should she go or not go? She's obviously not 100%.
No, but with her career and her, for the past 20 years and all that, and having that late type of injury, and at least she's able to get back up on the skis and still compete. It'd be tough to pull her off the team and all. But I know that you're ready to go tell her to cut her loose. But that's always a tough deal, and that's what happens sometimes in these events. Just before the Olympics, I don't know why they're having competition a week before the Olympics, because you set them up for potentially that type of an injury.
Yeah,
Especially with the course they had.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they basically had to shut the thing down because they just were like, "This is in terrible condition. We can't do this."
Right,
But they had to wait until she wiped out, and you had 2 more people that were wiped out.
Yeah, really.
It's like 3 of the first 6 got injured, and you had to
then they canceled.
Then they canceled.
Yeah.
So
In the meantime, you risk the situation with Lindsey Vonn, and I personally I'm glad that she's making an attempt to be in the Olympics. It'd been very tough,
Yeah, see, I don't know. I mean, even if she was to pull out, you're pulling somebody in at the last minute, a week out. saying, we need you to join the Olympic team.
Yeah, that's.
I don't even think they can get him a uniform done that fast.
No.
I mean, you'd have somebody out there wearing Lindsay's outfit and probably a sweater too big or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I got all your opinion. I got Dr. Caleb Giroux over here. He's got what we really need to hear. He's got the medical update on where she's at right now and on that ACL. So Caleb, fill us in on kind of where that is.
He's ignoring us right now.
I know.
Okay.
She practiced
Because
twice.
when I hear ACL, I get real nervous
She,
about
prac-
ACLs.
she practiced twice, so she's clearly doing all right. But according to all the doctors on X, formerly known as Twitter, 1/3 of people don't even need their ACL. And then apparently since she's moving side to side and not front back, the ACL isn't as important because you think about basketball players, if you get a knee injury in basketball, you're out a while because you're stopping going. So that's what they say. And she has a bulky knee brace on. I'm skeptical. I don't know if I would go down that hill at 95 miles an hour with a bum knee.
Whew. Yeah, and the Olympics
I mean,
have been the Olympics have been tough on her.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, she's had some tough luck in the Olympics, and here she is going in there with an injury. And I know Coach Ierulli here likes hero stories and good feel stories and stuff, and he's watched Rudy 500 times. But where are we at? Where are we at here on Lindsey Vaughn?
I'm up to 525 now.
But doesn't this beat
with an ACL injury
it
going
beats the
down?
sob story that usually our Olympic coverage, well, in the last five, 6 Olympics, the coverage is, Danny came from a small town in
Jim
Indiana, and he grew up and learned how to ski in his backyard on gravel.
Yeah.
And we go through stuff like this. Now you've got an honest story. You've got an injured world champion who's trying to finish off her comeback run with her first gold.
Yeah.
And you're always looking for a special type of story, and this definitely is.
You don't have to stretch this one. This one's custom made for NBC to sell to the sponsors.
Well, it couldn't be any more right on the edge than if she tore the ACL and they had surgery last week and she's ready to go.
Yeah, really.
It could be.
I think they're good. I don't think they're that good at doing it.
But she's going into the competition. That knee's going to be all taped up. She's going to have big brace on the knee. They probably got some Novocaine shots in there. And, again, she's going sideways, not straight down.
And if she takes a spill, she's probably done.
But all the pressure's off. You're going in. You're doing this one leg. Nobody's expecting you to win.
Yeah, just raise that one leg up and go down on one ski. That's the story.
Well, I just think anyone that's going down a mountain 80, 90 miles an hour, I think her accomplishment is being able just to finish. And, if they replace her with someone else, then that's really the fourth best person on our team.
But Coach Ierulli here in the good old USA, we're going for medals, man. We're not going for, hey, we're just out there trying. We want medals.
That's right.
Huh?
Yeah, medals are the key there, but I'm pulling for her.
Yeah. Hey, we got some Tennessee basketball coming up here, but Tony Ierulli, I want to talk to you a little bit about Carson Newman football.
Yeah.
You've been on a recruiting trail and got a new coach up there. You've had a couple of successful seasons. Now you got a coaching change. Tell us a little bit about what's going on up there.
Well, we had a coaching change right between Christmas time and New Year's. Our coach left to take the head coaching job at VMI.
Wow.
Yeah, and Coach Ingram. It was kind of funny. His family left to go to the Bahamas for a little vacation between Christmas and New Year's, and they called him while he was in the Bahamas. So he did a teleprompter video, or what's it called?
Zoom or
Zoom interview.
Zoom video, and so he got the job to VMI. And so he's still down in the Bahamas, so he's going to fly back for the news conference. Well, that was the time where the United States was attacking Venezuela, and all the plane flights were canceled. So he's, the poor guy, he had to stay in the Bahamas an extra 3-4 days. Poor guy, I felt so bad
We
for him.
feel so bad
It
for
was
him.
tough.
Yeah.
It was tough before he got back. But, we hired our defensive coordinator, Tyler Allman, who's I tell you what, I've been around a lot of good coaches in my career, but he's an up and coming coach, and my thought was if we would be lucky to have him for another year or two. defensively, our defense this past year was in the top 10 in several defensive categories, and so they named Tyler as our new head football coach. He's added several new coaches on our staff. 3 or 4 of our previous coaches went to VMI, but Tyler did a great job of adding new coaches. So it's great, and I tell you, this is the first year that we were fully into the transfer portal, and as you guys know, I hate it.
I understand.
It's made recruiting into a dang on mess, and what has happened is, we were concentrating on the transfer portal until about the second week of January, and so our attention to our high school recruits wasn't until midway through January till the first week of February, and it's a mess. Yeah. And but that's the hands that we've been dealt right now, and we're trying to do the best we can. We ended up including the transfer kids that came in through the transfer portal, and the ones we signed out of high school. We signed between 45, 50 players to Carson Newman. So we had a good recruiting year and great job. So we're all on about a 3-4 day break right now. We had early morning workouts starting at 6 a.m. this past week, and my God, there was a lot of Hail Marys going on coming from me just to make it through that day.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. Glad you're here.
You got retained through the coaching change. You never know.
Yeah, I made it again. Staying alive.
That's it.
Just relax here on the show. We'll get you a hot meal after we're
there
all
you
done.
go.
That's it.
Hey, Tennessee basketball. Caleb Giroux. Let's talk about the Vols. This past Tuesday, they defeated Ole Miss 84-66, improved to 16-6 and 6-3 overall, 4th in a row. 5 out of their last 6 games, and of course last Saturday they took care of Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers.
Stephen Pearl.
Steve Pearl.
Huh?
Stephen Pearl.
Oh yeah, Stephen Pearl. Yeah.
You're getting your pearls.
What did I say? Did I
Bruce.
say?
You said
say
Bruce.
his dad?
Yeah, his dad.
Oh,
Don't cast your pearls before swine.
That's a hard switch to make. That's a hard switch to make from Bruce to Stephen. Give me a little bit.
It is.
You just flowed right through it.
You're not lying about that. You're not wrong.
Two big wins for the Vols, and that they got it all started by beating Alabama on the road and Georgia on the road. Caleb, that really got things. That got things going for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got back at home for those couple of games, and here we are. They got 4 in a row, huh?
Yeah, and I think when you look at that Kentucky loss, they haven't lost again since. I think it was a wake-up call. And
I hope so.
And I'm sure, the coaches at the table can talk about it.
Yeah.
You can only tell the freshman class they have. Like, you tell a freshman so many times, like, if you don't play 40 minutes, you're going to get beat. You don't play 40 minutes, you're going to get beat. They might believe you, they might not. Well, they didn't play. They gave up at the end of Kentucky and blew a 17-point lead.
Yeah.
So I think that really, lit a fire under them. And you saw at Alabama, that was a full 40-minute game, a good win in a hostile environment. You go to Georgia, you play 45 minutes because you go to overtime, get a good win. And then Ole Miss and Auburn at home. Ole Miss is probably one of the worst teams in the SEC, but Auburn was another good win at home as well. And
but at least we got to see some fireworks in that game. The coach got run.
Yeah. Got tossed. But, 5-star freshman Nate Mint, who I'm sure we'll talk about more in a second, he scored 20 or more points in 3 of the last 4 to kind of help them along this run. And so Jacoby Gillespie and Nate Mint are both averaging over 19 in conference play. And they played good, and you see kind of these freshmen starting to find their roles. And I think you've seen, Coach Rick Barnes shorten the bench a little bit. Guys like Ethan Berg are not playing anymore, and he's really found his guys that he wants to roll with, and I think it's helped them find their roles and get more comfortable.
Well, they're not exactly beating the snot out of everybody.
No,
you know what I'm
not.
saying? Outside of the second half against Ole Miss, you didn't want to leave the television screen because, it was probably going to go right down to the wire. They're making a lot of people nervous.
And even when they're scoring a lot of points, they're not beating people by a big margin.
No, they're not. So, it's when you get right down to winning games, this is the way I look at it. You win those overtime games, you win those tough games on the road like they've won. This 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I go back to coaching, boys. You look at that sheet and you
agree.
say, hey, look, coaching.
Yep.
Coaching, and we got a Hall of Fame coach over there that knows what he's doing, and they've come out of those games, and now they seem to have it going. The other night against Ole Miss, you take the first half. They just kind of fallen all over themselves. Ole Miss really had the kind of game, Caleb, that they needed.
Yep.
That first half, they were playing Ole Miss basketball, low scoring, going to be
Physical.
looked like a game was going to be in the high 50s, low 60s, somewhere around that category, defensive game. And in the second half, Tennessee jumped on them a little bit, and you can't play that way if you're behind. And Ole Miss played catch-up, and the harder they tried to play catch-up, the further behind they got.
Well, I think it comes down to two things, too. One, Nate Mint got going. He had 26 points in that second half, which is the most since Dalton Connect against Auburn. And they weren't doing anything special to get him looks. They were running the same play that Rick Barnes ran for Dalton Connect. He called it bunch, and you've got 3 players that set screens, and you hope surely one of the screens hits, and he's open, and it worked. And then you also look at this team is, top 5 in offensive rebounding percentage in the last 25 years. One of the best offensive rebounding teams this century. And when you look at the way Coach Rick Barnes made the roster, you should expect to be a good offensive rebounding team with the pieces you have. And whenever your shots aren't going in, but you offensive rebound at a 45% clip, I mean, it's hard to beat that, even if you're Ole Miss and you make it a low-scoring game.
That's a great point. You can talk all about Mint. You can talk all about Gillespie. You can talk about all these other factors. They're winning basketball games on the boards. They're winning them on the boards.
Sure
you watch
are.
their basketball games and you go down there, well, we missed the outside shot. Well, we got the rebound. Well, we missed there. Well, we got another rebound. And we put the ball in the basket, and that's the way it's gone in this winning streak and the way they're playing.
Takes up more time on the clock and
absolutely
still get your points.
I mean,
you're getting 15
rebounded
more
Ole Miss.
shots than the other guy because you're getting half the misses are going back into your hands.
But listen, I watched those games, and I'm sitting there, and you're playing, like he said, the best offensive rebounding team in the nation, and you're looking at the game and you're going, why aren't they boxing out? There's nobody boxing out. They're just taking their ability, trying to get the rebound. Yep. And there's Tennessee, they're fighting for position, getting inside position. They're really, Tennessee, if you watch them go to the boards, they've really got the inside position, which should be what the defense should have on an offensive board.
And it all comes down, since I've been around this team, Rick Barnes has always preached to everybody, not just the bigs, but the guards too. When a shot goes up, you find somebody and you hit them. And you put your shoulder into them, and it results in getting rebounds. And then another thing, too, this team has done, I don't know if you had it, Mike, they have a bubble they put on the rim. So no matter what happens in practice, the shot's not going in. You cover the rim, so you got to rebound.
They put a bubble on the rim?
They put a bubble on the rim.
I would immediately put myself in the transfer portal. There's no way I'm playing with a bubble on the rim.
No.
They got this orange thing with spikes on it, so the ball bounces different ways. And they put that on the rim. And so every time a shot goes up, you know it's not going in. You have to rebound. And they treat the games like that. And I think, too, it's a lot of buy-in. Yeah. The bigs have bought into the fact that if you're 7 foot tall and you grab an offensive rebound, you're going to end up with 12, 14 points by the end of the night just by grabbing the ball and putting it back in the hoop, or put back touches or anything like that. And I think the bigs have bought into that, and that's how you see a lot of their offensive production. If it's not a Jacoby Gillespie 3, somebody's getting an offensive rebound. I mean, Bishop Boswell is your shooting guard, and he's almost averaging a double-double between points and rebounds.
Yeah. I really hope that Tennessee fans really appreciate the quality of Coach Barnes as Tennessee's head coach. I mean, one day he's going to step down and retire, but I tell you, especially these last 4 or 5 years where, you've had the transfer portal going in, it seems like he kind of renews that team every single year.
No, he just goes to the he goes to the transfer portal and brings in an all-star team. This is the Tennessee all-star team.
and it just and the thing is, the players buy in. To what he's all about, his coaching techniques and philosophies and all that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it's taken him a little longer this year. I mean, he's gradually brought this team along, and they're gradually getting a little bit better as the season goes along. And when you go to that transfer portal and you have to make as many changes as he's had to make, it takes time.
Certainly.
It takes time. And, you look at Nate Mint. I mean, half the season here, he struggled a little bit. And now here he is. He's really playing well.
That's Rick Barnes.
He got 28 points there the other night.
Another transfer portal pickup.
I'm not ready, Caleb. I'm not ready to say that he's up to what they're paying him over there. But he is making a big difference right now, and he is showing that the kind of player that he is, and why he's so effective is he's he's got that height advantage on anybody that they match up with him, and he can take them into the basket or shoot outside and take it to the hole. I mean, you're giving up 4 or 5 inches on the defense. That's a real advantage for the offensive player. Huh?
I've been joking, but it's almost like over the past month or two, he's realized he's 6'10", and he gets down into that low post, and he can either fade or go up. And I think you've seen him grow with the physicality and really learn in college basketball how to get to his spots. Because I think Ole Miss was a really good test, because you could tell in the first half they were focusing on him. Every time he went to the rim, it was a hard foul. They weren't letting him get off screens. And he was able to battle through that and ended up with 28 points on the night, with a lot of them coming in the second half. So I think you've seen him learn how to play college basketball. And he's kind of got, Ole Miss coach Chris Beard described his shot as unblockable and said it's the same shot he saw Rick Barnes teach LaMarcus Aldridge and Kevin Durant. When you've got guys that are that size, they've worked on his shot a lot about for Nate getting into his legs, because if you're 6'10" and now you're jumping when you're shooting and truly, using your legs, nobody can block that, especially in college basketball. Yeah. So I think a lot of it's just been for him learning how to play. And a lot of it, too, in practice is, they put Bishop Boswell or Amari Evans on him in practice. Those guys are, 6'2", 6'3", and Rick just tells them to get up under Nate and make him uncomfortable, and eventually you're going to stop bringing the ball down, which I think is the pet peeve for any basketball coach with a big man is if you're above, 6'6" plus, that ball should not come down to where those guards are.
The only thing that I would like to see a little bit more that for him to improve on is his consistency. You mentioned the other night he got 2 points the first half and he got 26 points the second half. And we've seen that a lot where he kind of goes into a valley and then comes back up to a peak. And I'd like to see him, level out a little bit more for the entire basketball game.
Did I just imagine, or did I hear that he was on the watch list for the Julius Erving Award, which is for small forwards? Heck, he's 6'10" at least.
They've been playing him
But they've been playing him everywhere, haven't they?
But to your point too, Mike, a lot of freshmen hit a wall this time of year and start falling, and we're seeing him play better this time of year. So I think it is a testament to the coaching and to him. I mean, whenever you watch practice, Nate's on the court after practice 30 to 45 minutes after everybody's gone with 2 managers, and he practices, taking threes, running plays, and he'll go shoot 4 free throws, and he just does everything on the court. He'll defend, he'll have a manager dribble against him, and he'll defend. Just, you can't really teach that stuff. And he's 18, 19 years old and knows that you have to work more and stays in the film room. And so you see the 5-star talent and all the money that comes with it, but he's also putting in the work to
I think
get
that
here.
when you were talking about earlier, Mike, about the development has not been the same progress we've come to expect from Rick is your main scoring threat this year is a freshman. It's not a transfer. You're not bringing in a junior or senior who's got 3 or 4 years of college experience. You're one of your top 2 scoring options is a freshman, and you're going to have to go through that as they make that transition. Now, it's good he's making it now, and you hope that continues now that he seems to have realized that he has a green light and that green means go, because I think there was a problem with him seeing a green light and thinking that he had to stop. But we'll see if that can carry on, because they've been playing a couple months at this point, and that wall sometimes is just fatigue from playing. So that February wall before everything gets all exciting for the tournaments is sometimes that line that's going to make that separation.
Well, they're getting a lot of steady play out of Gillespie. He's pretty steady, and you got a Mint and a Gillespie, and they're getting close to half the points, really in every game.
Right.
And you look out there and you go, and I'm surprised in watching these other teams. I just don't think they guard those people like they need to be guarding them. I mean, they give Gillespie too much space, and at times they give a Mint too much space. And I'm like, why don't you just play a triangle zone inside and put 2 men on those 2 guys and just say, hey, we're going to let somebody else beat us besides these 2 people right here that's shooting the ball.
There's so much to worry about with this team now, which I think is where they've grown.
Right.
So you've got Jacoby Gillespie. He can shoot the lights out of the gym from the hash mark all the way, and he can take contested layup. Nate Mintz playing good basketball. Bishop Boswell is not really an offensive threat, but he's shooting over 40% from 3, so you can't leave him open. And then, if you have to worry about those 3 guys, the bigs are still rebounding at a 45% clip if they miss. So there's just so much going on that end. And I think that's a testament to how this team is built and the freshmen coming along, because, head coach Rick Barnes has never been a special offensive innovator. He's never done these crazy plays or anything. They go down the court and they run kind of the same 3 or 4 plays, and it works because they execute. But I think there's just so much to worry about right now with this team and their effectiveness at setting screens and playing really physical. That's another thing too, Mike, is you got to think about these teams come from the offensive end of the ball. They just got hit for 30 seconds against one of the best defensive teams in the country. Now you got to go play defense against them. You're tired. You got to worry about everything. Now they're getting offensive rebounds, so now you're playing defense for 45 seconds, and they get another offense. It's just it kind of all snowballs, and I think that's why, too, we see Tennessee pull away in the second half instead of the first half.
And we mentioned that earlier in the year that we thought that Tennessee was impatient on their offense, not playing Rick Barnes basketball.
Exactly,
now they're draining that clock on offense like he's always done, wearing that defense, and then they've got to come down, and you know, it wears on you on the offensive end. But I also want to talk about the play of Estrella on the inside. Yep. There's a guy in this win streak that's really been a big factor. He got 12 points out of the 22 in the paint the other night, and he's really playing well.
And the big thing for him is Rick didn't like that he didn't rebound and he didn't play defense. So after he came back from his injury, he really focused, you know, extra work in practice, film room, learning how to defend, learning how to rebound. And when you've got a Hall of Fame guy like head coach Rick Barnes, you see that and you're like, hey, let's reward this kid for his hard work. And like you said, Mike, it paid off. That Georgia game, they don't win at Georgia without J.P. Estrella. He scores the first 4 points in overtime, and then he scores 6 total in overtime to win that game by 1. Alabama, he had 90 seconds at the end of that game where he had 2 offensive rebounds. I think he had a bucket in there too and got fouled. Like, they don't win either of those games if he doesn't play. So I think it's a testament to his work and also a testament to, you know, Coach Barnes, who's had issues with his defense at times, rewarding the hard work and letting him figure it out.
Don't know if he hadn't have played as well as he played in this streak, if they would have come away with 4 wins.
I don't know.
In a row. I just don't think
especially with Felix Okpara dealing with injury too.
Even as well as Amendo's played and Gillespie's played and Boswell's played, I don't think they come out of all these four games without him playing as well. Hey, we'll take a break here. When we return, Donnie Moore will provide some high school basketball scores and some news from any other sports from around the area, high school-wise. And veteran sports writer Marcus Fitzsimmons and Caleb Giroux will join us with Marcus's feature, Mark It Down. You're listening to the GoTeez SportsPage, Blount County Sports Voice, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
For over 90 years, Anderson Lumber Company in Alcoa has proudly served and supported our local communities. Locally owned, so the money made here stays here. Whether you're renovating a kitchen, bath, new floors, doors, or windows, Anderson Lumber is so much more than a lumber store and can take care of you from design to install. We welcome you to visit Anderson Lumber in Alcoa for all your home's needs, or shop over 67,000 items online at AndersonLumberCompany.com. Anderson Lumber since 1925.
Aubrey's is known for real comfort, real food, real good. But remember, Aubrey's is also really into Blount County. Aubrey's Maryville has been a strong supporter of local schools and sports programs for more than 15 years. From baseball to football, dance teams, and marching bands, Aubrey's has helped schools and youth programs generate thousands of dollars. It's easy for us to do because it's the right thing to do. So the next time you're looking to choose a place to eat, we hope you'll choose Aubrey's. Real comfort, real food, real good. See what's on the menu at aubreysrestaurants.com.
Welcome back to the GoTeez SportsPage. Donnie Moore, have the high school basketball team shaking the snow? Are they back in action? I assume they are.
They are back in action. Yeah, we had a full slate last night. Ooh, almost caught it, Marcus. Full slate of it last night, prep basketball. Let's get right into it. This is the Mandy B. Street Realty Local Focus. If you need anything concerning real estate, Mandy B. Street is your lady. She can handle it. She's good at it. She's been doing it for a long time. So go see Mandy B. Street Realty. Alcoa versus South Doyle last night happened over at the city, they call it, at the city. And Alcoa comes away with a double victory over South Doyle last night, 72-41 in the girls' contest. That's a lot of points for a high school girls team to score.
They're not messing around.
72 points. No, they're absolutely they're not.
And the best thing from that game yesterday, Donnie, is Hallie Bailey, UT softball signee.
Right.
1 point.
So they're deep.
Yeah.
They can
Remember
beat you from different angles, huh?
Last year she was pouring in 15 to 20.
Oh,
She
yeah.
didn't even need to score this year.
No. Oh well. Anyway, that's the
And
score.
where are they're in the top 10 now, aren't they? Didn't
I
the
think
girls?
they are.
If they're not, they should be. Truthfully, I don't look at that poll too much because the records of some of those teams are off. But
Oh, yeah.
they should be up there now. I mean, last night you get 15 from Maddie Stewart, 10 from Gwen Carroll, 9 from Briley Flatt, 11 from freshman Harper Stinnett. So when you've got a team that can score all around in high school, I mean,
That's hard to stop.
yeah, not
They're
much you can
really
do with
they're
that.
really excited over there about Harper Stinnett. She can play. I mean, for a freshman or for a senior in that for that matter, she can play. The boys came back in the nightcap and put 90 on the board. Alcoa boys did against South Doyle's 58. So had very little trouble with the South Doyle teams. Eagleton went to Cumberland Gap last night. Where's Cumberland Gap? Tony, you recruit up that way, don't you?
It's sort of like in a gap up in the Cumberland.
You had to get to the mountain somehow.
You can't get there from here. Huh?
Yeah, it's sort of in the northeastern corner of Tennessee
I got
before you
you.
get to
Yeah.
the Tri-City areas. But yeah, there's a gap in there.
Well, that's
Daniel
right.
Boone country.
Yeah, Daniel Boone
Or
told
Dave-
us about that.
Yeah, or Davy Crockett or one of them.
Yeah.
Well, hey, there's about 4 high schools named after those guys, so hopefully
they
they're
got
from
True,
up there.
yeah, no kidding. Here, local heroes. Eagleton traveled, like I said, to Cumberland Gap, and Cumberland Gap's girls, I started to say they must be pretty decent because they dropped 45 on Eagleton to Eagleton girls 8 last night. 8 points. They've got a lot. They've been struggling this year, but they'll get better.
You got to get the glasses out, make sure they
Yeah.
actually scored 8.
It was 8.
Yeah, well, did I get that right?
Not 81.
Yes, I
8.
did. 8.
8, okay.
Cumberland Gap boys also won in the nightcap, 70-54. So
It was close.
there we go. Yeah, it was. Greenback at Midway. That's a classic right there, isn't it? Greenback at Midway.
A lot of bad blood there.
Yeah, no kidding. Didn't get a report on the boys' game. Couldn't find one, but in the girls' action, 67 for Midway, 39 for Greenback.
All right, tough one.
So, yeah, they lost another tough one. Heritage traveled to Sequoia. Boy, everybody but Alcoa traveled last night. Heritage at Sequoia. Heritage had very little trouble with the Chiefs and Lady Chiefs. In the girls' game, it was 70-33, Lady Mountaineers. And then in the boys' game, 60-33, Mountaineers.
Yeah.
So they're playing pretty well this year.
They're. I mean, Eli Williams is having a standout senior year. And
Yeah, he is.
The girls are really hurt. I think they only have 7 or 8 players at this point, but they're still winning a lot of basketball.
That's quality in that what they put on the floor.
They've been hit by the injury bug bad. I
they
think
have.
Coach Howard told the Daily Times in one of our stories that he can't remember a team that's been hurt this much.
Wow.
But he does such a great job.
He does.
I mean, gosh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even in their worst
he's a legend.
years, some schools would take as their best.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, you better believe it. Maryville traveled to William Blunt last night. Well, so William Blunt plays at home, okay?
Hey.
William Blunt plays at home. All
Somebody
right.
had to stay home.
Yeah, you got it. But Lady Rebels won this contest 70-34.
And we're just a teaser. We're hopefully be talking to them
We
shortly.
should
in
be
the
talking to
second
them
hour.
shortly. Yeah, right. And then in the boys' game, 75-60 in favor of the Rebels.
Now, the interesting thing, we're going to talk to them about this if we get the chance, but Maryville had intentionally scheduled an open midweek before the William Blunt game so that they were going to have a week. This was going to be kind of a little bit of a respite in the
I got
schedule.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because of the snow, they went almost 3 weeks without a game.
Oh, really?
They basically practiced for 2.5 weeks without having an actual game. So
that's tough.
they were very ready to
Yeah.
play somebody
I
besides
bet they were.
somebody wearing the same
They
uniform
had
they were.
They had this Greenville game scheduled last weekend, had it canceled. Then it was this weekend, had it canceled. Now it's canceled completely because there's no time left to make it up in the schedule. So
And I
Maryville's been trying to get games in
and
too, and it's
I
just
think
been impossible.
the makeup is going to. Someone asking about. They're going to play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. I think
really?
they've only got like 1 day off next week.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The last game that we're covering here is Seymour at Northview Academy. Northview Academy girls won their game 73-62 over the Lady Eagles. And then in the boys' action, Seymour wins 84-69. Marcus, the boys are playing pretty well.
The boys are on a roll. They're having they're having a strong year.
Yep, they sure are. Well, anybody got anything else to add? That's it for the scores.
Well, we need to toss in wrestling from last weekend.
Okay, let's do that.
Maryville girls wrestling, wasn't it?
Yep, they went to state duels and got 4th.
Nice.
So that was a good year for them. They ran into a buzzsaw and lost.
Round.
Yeah, first round and lost to the eventual state champion, which I think is on a 4-peat or 5-peat at this point. So there's only so much you can do.
When you get the number one in your first round, it puts if you take that loss, you've got to come through the elimination bracket all the way through the long way, and Maryville did.
Yeah, and they stayed, and got their money's worth of the trip to Murfreesboro. And honestly, I was really surprised the wrestling continued with all the ice and snow, but they battled that. And then last night we had individuals wrestling for girls. Boys is today, but over at Halls, 24 wrestlers from 5 area schools hit the mats at Halls. And Maryville, obviously, if they got 4th in duels, their Lady Rebels did good. They had 10 individuals across 10 weight classes, and had a lot of girls go to sectionals next week as well. So.
Good.
So the schedules, regionals will finish up today. State sectionals will be next Friday and Saturday, and then state will begin Friday after that.
Good deal. All right. I'm going to tell you that you're listening, dear listeners, to WKCE 92.5 FM and 1180 AM, Mid-Century Radio. And now we're going to pull a hook and ladder, aren't we, Marco?
We are. We're going to toss it over to the gunner and let him take
hook
the
and lateral. So now I'm going to toss it to Marcus, and for his feature, mark it down, and he's going to lateral it immediately to Coach Edwards.
We'll just call it a bounce pass.
Okay. All right, there we go.
It's a bounce pass.
It's a double flea flicker pass.
I'll try to hold on to the ball for about 10 seconds, or maybe less than 2/10 of a second before I shoot it. Okay.
I hear you.
Let's talk a little. I'm going to talk a little bit about Tennessee basketball up at Kentucky, but got a couple of newsworthy notes from over on the hill there at Tennessee. First of all, the orange and white spring football game is set for April the 11th.
April 11th.
April 11th.
Did you pre-order your tickets?
For the spring game? No. Anyway, the big news there is it's free.
Yeah.
Woo!
Free's good.
Free's
good.
Can't beat that.
It was $10 last year, but Tennessee's doing so well money-wise over there. It's free this year. Man, they got more money. They got more money than Santa Claus over there now. We get another year like this year. They'll be letting everybody into the football games for free. Regular season.
Players don't need any more money. They're good.
Yeah,
If you had the headlines in the same week of raising basketball tickets and paying for the spring game, I think they'd burn the place down.
Oh,
so you had to throw a bone somewhere.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, they're going to start spring practice on March the 16th, so that's not too far away. Tony Ierulli wins Carson Newman starting spring practice, and do you have a spring game up there?
Probably about the same time. Yeah, we'll play spring game.
Yeah.
And probably about the same time. We'll go about 4 weeks. We'll have about 15 practices.
Yeah.
And we'll be excited about that as well. I don't think we'll be able to outdraw Tennessee, but we'll be a close second.
There we go.
And hopefully the weather will be better than it's been here the last
Yeah, no kidding.
We're not, spring game won't be at 6 a.m.
You never know what you're going to get into in March.
I remind people when Coach Sparks was the head coach, we would start spring ball the week after signing date at 6 a.m. All of our practices, full practices were at 6 a.m., starting about the 15th of February.
Oh, this ain't spring.
Yeah, I know. It's not spring ball, it's winter ball, but he didn't take my advice on that one.
Caleb Giroux, UT baseball, picked 6th in the SEC preseason. Is that a surprise about where you figured?
I think it's a good about where you figure. This team is really young, and then you also talk about roster limits now in baseball. So Tennessee will probably carry around 39. The roster limit is 34 or 35 now, but they have some guys who are grandfathered into the system, so they'll have about 39 kids. And pitching is a question mark. They've got a lot of arms, but who's going to show up and who's going to play good, and then you've got a good lineup that you just kind of have to put the puzzle pieces together. So I think 6th, honestly, is more of a testament that the SEC is really good and not that Tennessee is bad.
Yeah.
But you got question marks in development,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the pitchers, because you had
the
had coaching changes and personnel
and
shuffling.
The question marks really will be a lot of game management early on too, because new head coach Josh Elander plans to coach third base. Tony Vitello used to call the shots from the dugout. So what will that look like? Obviously, I don't think you worry about the offense at all, to your point, Marcus, but the pitching is a question mark. Head pitching coach Frank Anderson is now the director of Major League Pitching for the Giants. So you replace him, and you wonder, are they going to lean more towards analytics? Because pitching coach Frank Anderson was an older fella, didn't like analytics. Are they going to lean on analytics in the pitching standpoint? Are they not? How is that going to change? How are they going to do pitch counts? And now you have a shorter roster. So it's not like how it's been the last few years where you can throw 10 guys on a Wednesday. You're going to have to treat it like the major leagues, where if you burn your bullpen on a Friday, you're looking really, in dire straits for Sunday and even the Tuesday game.
Yeah.
Because there's not as many guys back there to fill it. So it'll be an interesting standpoint to see how they handle pitching with the new staff and honestly how you handle pitching in an era of roster limits. Honestly, I think at some point they'll probably have to shrink the season if you're going to have roster limits, because it's full scholarships too, so some schools can't even fill the scholarships.
Yeah.
So some schools might not even have the 34 or 35. Tennessee got lucky and got, I think, 3 two-way guys out of the portal for baseball, so that'll help if you get in an emergent situation. You got a guy who can hit and can pitch. So it'll be interesting. But they got some – Henry Ford is already up for preseason Golden Spikes watch list, the transfer from Virginia. You got the Tennessee JUCO Player of the Year from last year out there. Blaine Brown is another guy people will know. He can really swing it. And then you got a couple freshmen like yesterday's scrimmage, Taylor Tracy, freshman out of Austin, Texas, hit a nuke over the batter's eye off of Tegan Coons, which is expected to be Tennessee's ace this year. So you got freshmen who can contribute as well, and I think you'll see a lot of this team. And SEC is going to be good, though.
Yeah.
So what are
And they have a really tough schedule.
Have we had the test case yet that where we've gotten in football with baby boy Diego at Vandy? But baseball was usually the sport where you saw a lot more of the route where guys went to a Walter State or Pellissippi State, Cleveland State, and then spent their last 2 years at a 4-year school. Are those guys going to come in with 4 years of eligibility if they do that route again?
Well, it's a question mark right now, because you think about last year, Alberto Osuna did a year at Walters, 3 years at North Carolina, transferred into Tennessee, and was suing the NCAA for the 4th year, and they turned him down last year in the same way Joey Aguilar's in local court and everything. So it's a question mark there. And my biggest question, honestly, Marcus, is what if a guy goes to the minor leagues at a high school, doesn't do good, can he come back to college now, or will he try to come back to college? So I think you see a lot of question marks with that,
The G League
too.
ruling has kind of opened that up,
Exactly,
which is another
Sure
thing.
has.
And, you see, and you think about it for what we know of what's published, that you can make more playing college ball if you play in rookie ball in the A League and you don't make that jump to Double A. You can come back at 21 and come back to college the way some of this is looking.
Especially if you're a top
and get a pay raise.
Exactly, probably a top 12 or 13 schools can easily match and exceed what they would make in the minors. So we haven't seen it yet, and there hasn't been a test case for it yet, but I'm sure
it's
that's
coming.
That's
coming.
Yeah,
You're right.
especially
It'll be here.
I think JUCO is a big one, especially with roster limits now, because Tennessee, in November, December had to cut 7 to 10 guys who landed at places like App State, Walter State, a couple at Pellissippi State, a kid went to Cleveland State. Like, if you're not making a roster to D1 school, do you go JUCO and still have years at a D1 school? And then if we are doing that, at what point do high school players just give up? Because there's going to be no spots if you're not using eligibility at junior college.
They're going to have to figure out these rules, because if it's different sport to sport, it's going to be hard to manage. But if it's not different, then the differences in the professional arrangements are going to make a bigger impact.
Yeah.
And you already see, too, these roster limits. The age of getting guys like Kirby Cannell or Redmond Walsh, Alcoa alum are done, because Tennessee can't waste time on developing guys, really. You got to get guys who are ready to play. So, Tennessee, Georgia Tech has 2 kids from Knoxville, and Tennessee has, I think, either 1 or 0. So you're seeing, Tennessee's not going to have a lot of local talent anymore, just for the fact of they're getting, top 10 freshmen in the country instead of trying to develop a kid locally and make him a guy and investing in him for junior, senior year. Because at this point, what's the waste? Well, why waste a roster spot on a kid for his junior, senior year if most kids transfer out anyway?
Yeah, right. I
So
mean, right now
it's really killing local recruiting.
Yeah,
too.
it really is. I mean, right now, it's just a total mess. I mean, the thing that's going on with the basketball player over at Alabama,
Right.
and he's allowed to come back and play college ball after being signed up as a professional guy. The quarterback at Vandy. I mean, he won those lawsuits because he knew he's really not an NFL guy, but he's going to be making $2 million by being the quarterback at Vandy. So he's going to fight he was still fighting to try to get another year.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so it's right. They've got to come up with some binding rules and make it clear. And right now
There's
like
less
right now.
money
How
in baseball.
far are
but
we
in due
from,
time.
with baseball as an example, but where you get a nod and a wink promise from a 4-year school, and then your route is to go to a Carson Newman, a Maryville College, a Walter State, and play a year or two there to develop with the understanding that you're going to come there to a Tennessee and have 4 years, and they're going to help you develop. Where you're developing a minor league program.
Basically, yeah. Well, that's
You're
that's
becoming
what
a
Walter
feeder
State-
system. You're becoming a feeder
That's
system
what-
into the
because
bigger-
there's no rules against it.
That's basically what Walter State is now for Tennessee. But to your point, there's even different rules in different divisions of NCAA baseball. Like the Alberto Osuna situation last year, he was eligible at D2 University of Tampa, but he wasn't eligible at Tennessee. How in the world that works, I don't know. But you even have different rules from sport to sport, from division to division, classification, and then you mix in the fact that like junior college is separate. It opens a whole can of worms. And I think baseball's behind just because there's no money in the sport compared to men's basketball and football. But I think in due time you'll get schools who care about baseball and want to bankroll it, getting guys who are washed up to sue and try to get more eligibility.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Tennessee-Kentucky game tonight. The game's at 8:30 on ESPN. And, Caleb, Kentucky can either be really, really good or they can be really, really bad.
They're breaking out some denim uniforms, too.
I really don't know which team you prepare for, but we'll see which one shows up tonight.
I think for Tennessee's sake, I think it's the last 4 games they've played or last 3 games they've played against Kentucky. Kentucky has shot over 50% from 3. So it's going to be a sold-out Rupp Arena. They're breaking out those denim uniforms that, Coach Pope remembers from when he was at Kentucky. And I think it'll be interesting to see because it's a different team. Like you said, every time they take the court, they've been very inconsistent. And I think one thing about Tennessee recently is they have been consistent.
Right.
There's some injuries that kind of are worrisome heading into this one. Tennessee has 3 players questionable for tonight's game. But I really think it'll come down to what Kentucky team you get, like you said, and how different they are at Rupp. Because we've seen them get run out of the building this year, and we've seen them get some big wins. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I used to think Rupp was such a big advantage, playing up there in front of all those people, but they played some really bad games at Rupp.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't cheated their fans in their bad play at all.
Absolutely not.
It's not just on the road. We're going to show you what we got here at home. We're going to show you how bad we are right here. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting game.
Here's a fun fact for you before we move off of Rupp. Tennessee has won in Rupp 8 times in its program history, and Rick Barnes has 4 of those wins.
4 of them up there. Yeah. Half of them. Well, and the importance of the game, I was jotting some things down here. They're back in the SEC race now. There a few weeks ago they had 3 losses, and you're thinking, oh, man, they lose a couple more on this road swing right here, and they're pretty well out of it. They hold service at 3 with a lot of season to go, but tonight you're looking at SEC standings. With both teams back in the regular season playoff hunt for a championship. You got the tournament seeding right now. They've got, I think, Lenardi.
Yeah,
that's
Joe
his name.
Lenardi.
Bracatelli. You got UT playing the first game out at Liberty as a 5 seed, playing Liberty. And then maybe going the second round against Texas Tech out in San Diego. Certainly the Vols would rather improve on that and not have to go to San Diego, which is just one step from going to Hawaii, pretty much.
Yep.
And to your point, too, Lenardi was projecting them as a 7 or 8 seed just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
So they're still moving up those lines and making progress.
Not moving in a positive direction either. But they're trying to avoid the sweep. You know, you don't want to go through a really outstanding season and somebody stop you on the street and go, hey, y'all did real good, but you lost 2 to Kentucky.
Yep,
Yeah.
especially
You know,
Kentucky.
Sorry
that's
about
what
that.
it's sort of like that Alabama game in football or that Florida game. Or the Georgia game. It's you just don't want to lose 2 to Kentucky. So that's on the line. And of course, you know, Kentucky up there, they're trying to get the sweep. You know, they've got the same goals right there that I just went over, but they've got the sweep, you know, where they can.
Right.
And right now, Tennessee doesn't have the tiebreaker against they don't have the tiebreaker against Florida.
Nope.
And they don't have the tiebreaker against who else up there in the top of the standings?
Arkansas.
Yeah, they don't have the tiebreaker, and you don't want to get in a situation where you lose 2, and they don't play either one of those teams again. And you don't want to lose to Kentucky because that gives them the tiebreaker on you, you know, as far as the SEC tournament and on down the line. So there's a lot, Caleb, riding on this game tonight.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as you look at the rest of their slate, honestly, it should be the easier part of the SEC. I don't know if any games are easy, but, you know, you still got Vanderbilt on there as well. But I think you need to split with Kentucky because the way it's shaping out right now, you won that game against A&M. A&M's still at the top of the conference as well. So you've got the tiebreaker over them, but the way it's shaking out, you'll probably end up somewhere in the, if you're not competing at the top of the SEC, like that 2 to 6 chunk where all those teams are kind of the same record. And like you said, these tiebreakers are coming really important. And a sweep over Kentucky just, I mean, besides the confidence level and how fans will react, you do need it
Still
for
Kentucky,
conference standing. Yeah, and it's still Kentucky. And, you know, if this team they just entered the AP poll at 25. If you go into Rupp Arena and beat Kentucky to cap off, you know, make it a 5-game win streak, a lot of people will start saying, hey, Tennessee's legit and they're playing good basketball. And then if you go on the other way, it's like, well, hey, maybe Tennessee was just beating up on bad teams in the SEC and they're not really that good.
Another point is, as you look at the remaining games on the schedule, they're running out of quality teams to play and beat.
Exactly.
You got 2 with Vandy, and you got an Alabama team, and you don't know where they're going to be. They're out of the rankings now.
And they might have a G League
You
guy.
see?
They might have nobody.
Yeah.
Hey, and
But-
Vanderbilt, too. Preseason, we thought Vanderbilt basketball was really good and in the non-con, and they've struggled recently as well. They went and lost to Texas in SEC
You know,
play.
except for the loss against Auburn, Florida's been really strong throughout the year.
Oh, well, good thing about Florida is they got their guards playing better, and they played their best game against Tennessee, and after that they haven't let up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Florida's going to end up being one of the top teams in the country by the end of it.
And Tennessee doesn't play Texas A&M. They don't play Florida, and they don't play Arkansas again,
Exactly.
which is your top teams. And then you throw in Kentucky game today. Well, that doesn't leave much as far as building up your RPI.
I mean, you got
and
LSU and
seeding
Missouri in there, and they're awful.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get this, and you get Vanderbilt, and maybe Alabama.
Yeah.
So
Missouri can play pretty well. You know, you got to go out and play them out there. That could be a little. That could be
it's a weird place.
Yeah, it could be a little tough going out there. But anyway, Tennessee, what do they got to do to win this game tonight, Caleb?
I think they got to not let Kentucky shoot over 50% from 3 like they have in the last few matchups. I think they need an offensive rebound, and I think they need to get to the rim. Something you see these teams on the road love to shoot threes. Tennessee, truthfully, only has 2, I would say, pure three-point shooters on this basketball team. Jacoby Gillespie, and I think Bishop Boswell can shoot it. I wouldn't even put Nate Ament in that category. I think he's got better things to his game. So I think you need to get away from the three-point line, get to the rim, get fouled, and you know, really just play your basketball.
Yep.
Chew the clock and play defense. And I think this Kentucky team really gets on a roll in spurts. I mean, you saw it when they played the first time. They blew that 17-point lead. Kentucky at LSU went on an 18 came back from an 18-point deficit to win. So I think they don't let them get on those spurts where, especially in Rupp Arena, Otega Owe just hit a 3. Oh, now they've got a dunk. Now the arena's rocking. You're on a 5-0 run, and that could quickly snowball. And as good as Tennessee has played, I still don't know if that offense is explosive enough to counteract runs like that.
I'm saying if you're playing tempo up there, if you play tempo, you control the game, you take the crowd out of the game.
Exactly.
Nobody wants that crowd out of the game. That's a big advantage to you. But if you get behind and you have to play catch up, that takes you away from running and milking that clock. You got to pick it up a little bit.
You know what else can take the crowd out of it, Mike? Get a couple offensive rebounds, and now all of a sudden, instead of chewing 30 seconds, it's been a minute and a half, and Kentucky hasn't touched the ball.
Yes, 20 more seconds back up on the clock, and you got to work your legs that much more, and Kentucky, on the other hand, it's all about boards with Kentucky. You got to keep Tennessee off of the boards, and
Yeah,
you got to limit the scoring of Ament and Gillespie, and you got to force the ball to turn the ball over. They forced them to turn it over here, and Tennessee didn't shoot their free throws very well. You know, we went through a span where free throw shooting was really bad. It's improved somewhat. Kentucky needs to get off to a good start, and they need to play an up-tempo game, get the crowd into it, and Kentucky hadn't played a 40-minute game all year long. I don't know. I've got that down here, but I don't know whether they can play 40 minutes or not.
If Kentucky makes Tennessee start running, it'll look a little ugly. Because
Yeah.
When Tennessee had guys like Dalton Connect on the court and Zakai Ziegler, you could run a little bit and survive. I don't think this team can do that.
No.
Especially
this
when you've got these guys are playing, like Jacoby Gillespie is averaging like 35 minutes a game, Nate Ament's at like 34 minutes a game. You start playing up tempo, those guys will tire out before half.
Hey, you thought those games last year and the year before were nerve-wracking, where you'd milk the clock and you'd go down there and win the game in the last 4. Hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. The rest of the year with this team and going into the tournament, you're gonna end up in the cardiac ward if you're not careful. I'm telling you, it's a whole different ball game especially when you're relying on getting rebounds and putting them back in and and that type of thing. Hey, we're going to turn the page here, and next up is the Anderson Lumber Company Player of the Week segment, and Marcus has got some Maryville High School girls basketball. You're listening to the GoTeez SportsPage, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
The Roger L. Newman Company began in 1984 with a vision of providing Blount County with excellent heating and cooling service. Mr. Newman also wanted a real business. No gimmicks and no high-pressure sales. They just fix it or replace it. They want to stay within your budget and make you comfortable. Their motto still stands true today. Call us first, we'll be there. Call Roger L. Newman Company at 982-5446 or visit online at rogerlnewman.com. Cooler temperatures are approaching. Upgrade your furnace now for as little as $50 a month. For over 50 years and 3 generations, the people of Blount County have trusted Stevenson Tire with their vehicles and their families. Our mission has always been simple: to provide quality products at reasonable prices with exceptional customer service. Featuring tire products from Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, Firestone, and Yokohama, Stevenson Tire also offers alignment and brake services at affordable prices. Stevenson Tire Company, 2411 East Broadway Avenue in Maryville. Call 983-1621 or online at stevensonTire.net.
Welcome back to the Bluetick Tavern in downtown Maryville. This is Mike Edwards along with the rest of our broadcast crew, and it's time for the GoTeez SportsPage Player of the Week segment featuring Daily Times senior reporter Marcus Fitzsimmons, sponsored by Anderson Lumber Company, where quality service is always a priority, proudly serving Blount County for over 100 years. Marcus Fitzsimmons, you got Maryville Red in here this morning.
Well, we do, and they're all smiling.
Yeah.
So if
That's a good thing.
If you were listening to the last hour and you got Donnie's recap, you kind of know why they're smiling this morning. Mm-hmm. But we're glad they were willing to come up and talk to us this morning, especially on Saturday, because all teenagers love getting up early on a Saturday morning when they don't have to.
I'll bet you in that snow last week they weren't up early. Yeah.
Coach, big win last night. We'll recap a little bit. 70-34 over William Blount. District win and rivalry win, so you got to feel good this morning.
Yes, sir, absolutely. First game in 14 days, so
Wow.
so that was good too. That was big.
We were talking
Yeah,
about
we
that.
did. We talked about that a little bit.
You all, there was intentionally a kind of a break put into last week, but
Yes, sir.
it was not anticipating the blessings of weather from Indiana that we got, which we can
Absolutely.
blame Mike Edwards for. It's all his fault. He brought it down here. But what do you do when you have that situation?
Yeah, I mean, you just go into each day prepping for what you expect to happen, and we expected to play each day that we were supposed to play, and so we had a lot of prep for a lot of teams that we didn't end up playing. So hopefully we'll be ready for them next week because we got lots of games next week.
So is there like a designated driver for the team that has the four-wheel drive that can get everybody and
We
get them
should.
to practice?
We should invest in a snowmobile. Just deck it out, wrap it in Lady Rebels. Yeah, that would be good.
I would think so. One of our sponsors probably sells snowmobiles.
Wraps. Yeah, and win wraps too, for
Yes.
that matter.
I would think we could help with that.
Oh, yeah.
We might need to talk to GoTeez and see what we can get them to sponsor for their teams here. But for the players, was it every morning getting up and trying to figure out, are we going to practice? Are we going to play? Can I get out of the house? Do we have school? What was that like?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy, I would say.
Yeah, I think we were all ready to play all the time. Like, we had gone so long without playing a game, so every morning, like, we were all like, come on, we're going to play tomorrow. Like, let's get into practice, let's work. And then we would get the message, like, oh, your game's canceled.
Yep.
And
I do
was
have to
let
brag
down.
on these girls, though, because it could have been really easy down the stretch, like practicing day after day after day, to let up. And I thought even those last,
Good.
like, 3 days of practice that we had a solid couple of days of practice that they brought a lot of intensity. So super proud of them for that. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
So I'll let you brag on them a little bit, but I jumped to them before I let you introduce them. But you brought two
Sure.
with you. So go ahead and give them an introduction. You all can wave to the camera back here.
Yeah, these are two sophomores that we have. This is Bailey Miller and Harper White.
And I'm just going to say, if you didn't watch it, or if you were snowed in, or were at another game, because everybody was on the road last night except for William Blunt. Fantastic start, which
Yes, sir.
you've got to be nervous. Like you said, 14 days off.
Yeah.
How are we going to come out? And you all put up a 21-3 first quarter. Starts with a 9-0 run that Harper contributes to, and then Bailey goes off for 17 points last
Yeah.
night. So you're were you a minute or two in and be like, okay, I think we're ready to play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I thought the first minute and a half of the game, I thought our defensive intensity was where we wanted it to be, and I think everything kind of flowed from there.
So I'll pick on Bailey first. Was it a little odd to finally see somebody not wearing a Maryville uniform last night? And after 14 days, I'm sure it was a little bit strange to see something else on the other opposing uniform.
Yeah. Honestly, we were all just really excited to get out there and play. Like, we had been sitting in practice, and not that practice is bad, but just to be on the court and, like, actually playing, it's just different. So it was really exciting to be out on the court again.
So at what point did you all realize that everything is going our way right now?
Well, I mean, like Coach said, I mean, when we came out, and I think our, like, big thing is when we start games with high pressure on defense stuff, we know that it's going to be a good game going down the stretch. So I think really the first minute or two, and honestly, when I got out there and I hit my first three, I was like, I'm feeling good. Like, I just think it's going to be a good game for all of us.
Harper, what about for you? Coach mentioned the defensive intensity.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, we came down the court after my first shot, and we were switching screens. We were all up in people. It was good. I don't think we've played that hard of defense in 14 days, which was good to get out there and play hard defense like that again.
Well, you all don't get the breaks like they do in college and the pros with all the timeouts and media timeouts and all that and commercial breaks. So you don't get that moment to look up at a jumbotron to see what's going on. But did you kind of look up at the scoreboard and be like, we're up 21-3.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of, in a rivalry game, that's not something you expect in a William Blunt Maryville game. Was that kind of strange to go in at the break in the quarter and be like, wow?
I would say I knew we scored a lot, but I was like, wow, they've only scored 2 points. And I was like, our defense has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, when you come into that break, that's it's a good place to be coaching from, but it's also a difficult place to be coaching from because we were talking earlier, you've got to manage that lead at that point,
Right.
and you've got to keep everybody involved. How difficult does that change the decision-making
Yeah,
for you?
I feel like first half it was pretty easy because we kind of got into a rhythm of things, and the game was moving pretty quickly, so I felt like it was easy to kind of keep on the gas. But coming out of half, we really emphasized going into the third quarter that we didn't want to let up, and we wanted to kind of see what we were capable of doing. So that was a huge emphasis for us, and I think kind of checking that at different markers, whether it's a timeout or whether it's a free throw, and just kind of getting together and saying, okay, like, where are we at right now? How's our defensive intensity? How are we moving the ball? Those kind of things. And give us some specific intangibles to focus on, I think, kind of helps with that as well.
So I'm going to totally change track on you here a little bit. but it's something we've done with all the coaches in this district that when we've had them on. We're so very used to Maryville, William Blount, Heritage basketball being in one district, being a melee where 7 of the 8 teams could win on any given night. You're in a 4-team district.
Yeah.
You don't have nearly as many district games to work with. What has that change meant for Maryville? What has that done to how you all schedule and how you approach a district game?
Yeah. Well, we expected them to be a little bit more spaced out than what they're going to be. But I think like this year at this time, and this is the first year that we've done this and the first year that we've had 3 other teams in our district. But we want to be kind of in tournament form right now going into it. So I think that just having all of those games back to back, I think it's been big for us to kind of sit for a couple of weeks and kind of reevaluate where we're at as a team and kind of focusing on any small changes that we want to make going into this second round of district. But scheduling wise, we scheduled a couple teams that we got to play home and away. Tellico Plains was one of those. Greenville was supposed to be one of those. We ended up having to cancel that one. But we scheduled those games intentionally so that we could kind of see at the beginning of the season how we're playing against that kind of team, and then kind of give us a check towards the end of the season. Same team that we're playing against, see where we're at. Just because we don't have as many district games that we're going to play people more than one time. So that kind of gives us a better view on our improvements and stuff.
Now, just so we make sure for everybody who's not living on the pulse of the basketball, you all still have a district tournament, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that going to be at Jefferson County? Is that what I heard?
No, it's going to be at Sevier County.
It's going to be at Sevier County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I asked that question because there are some of the smaller districts that are not having district tournaments.
Yeah, we talked about doing a golf scramble for tournament placement seeding, but
that would have actually been fun.
We decided we'd go ahead and play a district tournament.
So, and I'm going to pick on all 3 of you about this, but because of the weather, because of the rescheduling, because of the makeups, I'm hoping they did rest up these 2 weeks because next week's going to be busy from what I've gotten from Coach Harris. It looks like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. You're going to be
Monday,
busy.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Yes, sir.
Good grief.
So kind of from the player's perspective, you got your sleep. You ready?
Yeah,
it's going.
I'm ready.
I mean, the season's going to be a lot of it's
play
going
like
to be a
6
week.
games a day in AAU. So.
Yeah.
So you're going to turn around. So for people who don't know, you've got Monday
At Sevier County.
at Sevier County, which is a district game.
Yes, sir.
Goes a long
Always
way.
a tough place to play, too.
Yes, sir.
It goes a long way to the 1-2 seed determination. Then you get Heritage, right?
Yes, sir.
For senior night. So nothing like throwing senior night into
Doesn't get
this
any
mix
In the
easier,
middle
does
of
it?
the week.
Yeah. Then you got West and Jeffco.
Yes, sir.
So you're playing basically the district tournament schedule's just starting now. This is the way it's going to break down for you guys. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to be big for them. I kind of talked about this a little bit last night, but we as coaching staff are going to have to make adjustments pretty quickly in game, but I think it's going to be huge for them to be able to communicate with each other and make those adjustments in games with each other as well, because we're not going to have a ton of practices in between games.
So
Practices in between games.
Yeah.
Bailey, can you keep hitting them the way you did last night?
I mean,
to put you on the spot a little bit, but
I mean, yeah, that's kind of my thing, you know, and I'm like, I don't know. When I go out there and I hit my first one, then I know that I'm feeling good. Like, it's one of those things that, like, when I don't mean to, like, sound, I don't know, but when you're somebody that can shoot, I just feel like once you know, like, when I warm up good, I know that I'm going to have a good game. And I've been shooting really well this season, so I just hope that I can keep it going to help us win some district games.
well, you probably never saw Coach Edwards when he was playing, but he never saw a shot that he didn't like. So, Coach,
That's why they put the goals up and they keep score, right?
Yep.
You're right.
no, Coach, she hit 5 threes last night on her way to 17.
Boy, yeah. You didn't take enough shots if you only hit 5.
You can see our philosophy around here may differ slightly from what Coach tells you in a game. Fair warning. But how much of that scoring fuels off of the defense? Like is like Tennessee, where the defense is fueling your all's offense?
Oh, yeah, like all the time my mom tells me, like she'll always in the car, she's like, hey, like I know you shot the ball good, but your defense was really good tonight. Like when I get steals, when I make assists even, but like when we're talking on defense, like that energy just carries over to offense. Like scoring isn't the only thing, and I think you can tell that because our defense started so well. That's what led to us scoring such big amounts in that William Blount game recently.
Harper, what was this one like when this one was over? I mean, this is a rivalry game. It's a district game.
Mm-hmm.
What was the feeling like when the buzzer finally went off on this one?
Felt good. Felt like we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. I think before the game, Coach was like, we need to play hard. And I think before the game, we all came together and was like, we need to get ready to play. Like, we haven't played in 14 days. But, I mean, I'm so proud of us for after 14 days we played the way we did last night. And so I feel good winning a district game that needed to be won. So that's good.
So I'm going to toss this one out there because it's more of a curiosity factor. You know, the way the season starts not like there's really much of an off season anymore, but, you know, you have these long breaks and build-ups, and then you jump into a whole bunch of games at the start of the season, and you end up with some breaks, and then you end up with these holiday tournaments where it's kind of the same thing. Is this just more of that? You were off for 2 weeks, and now you've got a run of 4 or 5 games all packed together. Is it kind of that same thing pattern-wise for you guys?
Yeah, I would say. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've never had 14 days off from basketball the way we did, so I don't really know how to feel about it. So.
Yeah.
Well, as long as y'all play like you did last night, I don't think anybody's going to have any problem with it.
Yeah, we got to keep it going. We're not done yet.
Yeah, not done yet.
So, Coach, what do you give them? Is like today and Sunday off, or to prepare for that, or is it?
Yeah, so
we're going to the film room
we're
and y'all
off
going to go look at a bunch of film.
Right. We're off of basketball for the next 2 days, but we've got this thing called the Challenger League tomorrow that we're going to participate in. It's from 2 to 4, and it's special needs kids in our area. We've got like a basketball game and a little basketball activity for them that we're gonna be a part of tomorrow. And I guess some of them are going to watch the Super Bowl after that, and then we'll get back after it Monday.
Yeah. Do you all have a lot of off the court team activities? I mean, is that part of the program that you all have stuff outside of?
Yeah, we try to. We try to have at least one thing a month that we do together off the court. We've got great parents that are part of our program too, and so we try to do team dinners the night before home games where they get to be together and kind of talk about things other than basketball while being together. So, yeah.
Okay, Donnie's giving me the signal here under the table, but before we get out of here, I'll give you a chance. Shout out wise, you know, no coach runs the whole program in this day and age, so I'm sure there's some people out there that are from the assistants to the parents that are helping out and give you a chance to kind of give those guys a thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a full family that goes along with it. Our assistant coaches are incredible. I had a baby earlier this season, so really had to just kind of rely on them, and I think they did an incredible job with the reins. We've got a set of parents that are incredible for us as well. They do pre-game meals. We do those before home game meals the night before home games. We've just got an incredible group around us that truly makes it a family atmosphere.
And that's really all you can really ask for from a program. I mean,
absolutely.
When you've got that kind of buy-in, it makes things a lot easier for Coach, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it does.
So, anyway, we appreciate you getting up and coming in this morning. Congratulations on the rivalry win last night. You get to enjoy it for 36 hours, so go ahead and do that. We wish you the best of luck next week. Mike, unless you want to toss something in here to the shooters, we'll go ahead and turn the page.
No, but I like it when you bring the shooters in. You know, I heard her talking about her mother, telling her about her defense, you know, being really good. My dad never told me I played good defense. You're way ahead of me, I can tell you that right now. Yeah, well, congratulations on your win last night.
Appreciate that.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
it's time for a break. When we return, it's the Boyd Sports Spotlight. You're listening to the GoTeez Sports Page, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah.
For over 90 years, Anderson Lumber Company in Alcoa has proudly served and supported our local communities. Locally owned, so the money made here stays here. Whether you're renovating a kitchen, bath, new floors, doors, or windows, Anderson Lumber is so much more than a lumber store and can take care of you from design to install. We welcome you to visit Anderson Lumber in Alcoa for all your home's needs, or shop over 67,000 items online at AndersonLumberCompany.com. Anderson Lumber since 1925.
Aubrey's is known for real comfort, real food, real good. But remember, Aubrey's is also really into Blount County. Aubrey's Maryville has been a strong supporter of local schools and sports programs for more than 15 years. From baseball to football, dance teams and marching bands, Aubrey's has helped schools and youth programs generate thousands of dollars. It's easy for us to do because it's the right thing to do. So the next time you're looking to choose a place to eat, we hope you'll choose Aubrey's. Real comfort, real food, real good. See what's on the menu at aubreysrestaurants.com.
Welcome back to the Bluetick Tavern in downtown Maryville. This is Mike Edwards, and it's time for the Boyd Sports Spotlight segment. Donnie Moore, got a lot of things going on, don't we? Super Bowl,
Boy,
Olympics.
don't we ever? Good grief! There's a lot of news this week. So, don't just go ahead and get to it.
Let's go to it.
All right. This is our sports headlines segment, brought to you as always by our friends at Fast Signs.
Say it louder.
Tony, I'm going to let you talk first this time. There's a couple of huge figures in American sports passed away in the last few days. One of them being Sonny Jurgensen, quarterback for the Redskins, and
he was a guy.
Goodness,
always like he was like the working man's quarterback.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he wasn't the real flashy Joe Namath type of quarterback. He was just a hard worker. A friend of mine said that he would watch them during preseason practice. They would have their preseason practice in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and he would go up there and he would see Sonny Jurgensen go through like a Pascal, then sit down on the bench and light up a couple cigarettes.
He was just a get things done quarterback.
Get things done, and I mean, he was a legend. He was a broadcaster for many years after that, and he's one of the heroes of the Redskins.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
And the other one being Mickey Lolich.
Mickey Lolich. Let me talk about Mickey Lolich here. All right, because me growing up, I was a big-time St. Louis Cardinal fan.
Yeah.
And going into the 1968 World Series, so I was probably 11 years old. I was really into the game. And that was a year of really, he called it the year of the pitcher. You had Bob Gibson, who had a 1.12 ERA for the entire season. All right. And then you had Denny McClain, who won 31 games in 19. So those were the two-star pitchers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And just to give you a thing, that was after that year, that's when Major League Baseball lowered the height of the mound.
Yeah.
Because they think it was too much of an advantage for the pitchers. Well, they go into the World Series, so the big thing was McClain versus Bob Gibson.
Sure.
And so they went head-to-head in games 1 and 4, and Bob Gibson beat McClain each time. Okay. Mickey Lolich was the number 2 pitcher, and he won complete games in game 2 and game 5.
Good grief.
So what the manager, I think Mayo Smith was his name, the manager of the Tigers, what he did, he switched McClain and Mickey Lolich. So McClain pitched against Steve Carlton, who was the number 2 pitcher in game 6, 2 days rest, and beat him. All right, so game number 7, Bob Gibson against Mickey Lolich. All right, Kurt Flood misplays a fly ball. Gee, I can remember this real good. Misplays a fly ball in center field for a triple. They scored a couple runs, and the Detroit ended up winning that Game 7 World Series. Mickey Lolich won 3 games. All 3 were complete games. He's the last Major League pitcher to have done that in the World Series.
They don't do that anymore.
He's the last Major League pitcher that'll ever do that.
Yeah. I mean,
and Denny McClain's the last guy that's going to win more than 30 games, too.
30 games, and you're not going to see a starting pitcher like Bob Gibson with a 1.12 ERA for the season. I mean, pitching has totally changed. Yeah. Because those guys were playing complete games. You couldn't. If a manager came out to take Bob Gibson out of a game, he wouldn't leave the mound. He was going to finish the game and all that.
And McClain, the record he beat was Dizzy Dean's.
That's right.
Dizzy Dean's, and I think that was set in 1934. I think Dizzy Dean set that record in 34, so it stood for 34 years.
Time,
yeah. So 31 games and Bob Gibson, but that was a classic World Series game. And as soon as I saw Mickey Lolich passed away, it brought up all those memories and all that.
Yeah,
So.
that was the series, Tony, that Jose Feliciano sung the national anthem, and it became very controversial the way he sung it.
Oh, really?
I remember that.
If he sung that today, everybody'd think, oh, that's really
Oh,
cool.
yeah,
but back then, he kind of went off the cuff, and sang it in kind of a different way, and
Well,
didn't go over very good.
Is that going to be like the guy that's going to be singing at halftime at the Super Bowl? Was it Lil Birdie or whatever his name is? Bad Bunny.
Misbehaving rabbit.
Bad Bunny.
Lil Birdie.
Yeah.
Was I off a little bit?
Close enough. Let me get started, guys. I got a lot to do.
You don't want to talk about Bad Bunny.
Okay, Bad Bunny. Okay, Lil Birdie.
Okay. All right, here we go with the sports headlines brought to you, as always, by Fast Signs. The NFL Honors Ceremony was celebrated on Thursday evening at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. It was hosted by John Hamm, an actor.
Very good.
I don't know. Maybe that's okay with me. Here's the list of the winners. The most valuable player, Matthew Stafford from the Rams, quarterback. Pretty good choice.
Good.
Yeah, I think. The AP Coach of the Year was Mike Vrabel from the Patriots, formerly of the Titans. It got cut loose from the Titans.
Probably a bad move by
Next
the Titans.
year, he's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Again.
Well, 2 years, but
2 years.
let's just go ahead and say it's a little bit of a curse. There's only been one coach who has been the AP Coach of the Year and also won the Super Bowl.
I hear you.
That's
The Associated Press Comeback Player of the Year. The award goes to Christian McCaffrey of the 49ers, a running back.
Good player.
He's good. He does everything well, doesn't he? Yeah, does everything well. The AP Offensive Player of the Year was Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seahawks wide receiver. He's done it all this year too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good. The AP Defensive Player of the Year, none other than Myles Garrett of the Browns, defensive end. Boy, he can get to the quarterback.
And he's playing on usually a bad team.
Yes, he is.
And for what he's able to do.
The Browns had the Defensive Player of the Year, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, and a Pro Bowl quarterback, and they won 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
A Pro Bowl quarterback. Don't even let me start on that one.
Do you think there's somebody over at Haslam headquarters beating their head against the wall?
I would imagine
I don't know.
so.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Seems to be a trend.
The AP Offensive Rookie of the Year was Tetaroa McMillan from the Panthers. He's a wide receiver.
Tyler Shugg got second, Saints quarterback. I'm a little biased.
Yep.
He would have won, but he was off by one first-place vote. And you know who that voter voted for? That wasn't Shugg or McMillan?
No.
Justin Herbert.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Oh, well. The AP Defensive Rookie of the Year was Carson Schwessinger of the Browns. Schwessinger. It's kind of hard to say, but I got it out. Browns linebacker. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year was Bobby Wagner, linebacker for the Commanders. Glad they choose occasionally somebody from a team that's not very good.
Well, that's because
he won the good guy award.
Yeah,
so
he did.
You got to be
You're
good
right.
at something.
You better believe
know,
it.
a lot of those defensive winners, they're playing on bad teams, so they're getting a lot of reps.
A lot of chances,
A lot
aren't
of
they?
chances
Yeah.
to be good. Yeah.
Here's the listing of the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Okay.
Pretty good players. Drew Brees,
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly,
Okay.
Adam Vinatieri, kicker,
Yep.
mhm,
Yep.
and Roger Craig.
Oh man.
That's pretty good Hall of Fame lineup right
49ers?
there. Yes, sir.
I coached against him when he was a player at Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Brees is the first ballot Hall of Famer ever for the Saints.
Wow. The Protector of the Year. This is
Protector.
Protector of the Year was Joe Tooney from the Bears. He was a guard for the Bears.
Okay.
So don't let anybody get to your quarterback. That's
Protector.
Joe.
Very good.
Yep. The FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Year, Drake May, Patriots quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers running back, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seahawks wide receiver.
I had never even heard of that award.
I hadn't either. I think it's new this year.
FedEx paid for it. They
Yeah,
get the award
FedEx
now.
did. Hey, if they want to sponsor an award, they're going to get an award. Salute to Service Award. was given to Christian McCaffrey, 49ers running back.
Good Lord, he got a
Boy,
lot.
He sure did. He racked up the hardware,
Needed
didn't
a truck.
Needed a U-Haul to bring
U-Haul,
take
get
it
that
back.
thing
To
in.
The Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award was given to Buda Baker, Cardinals safety.
Okay.
Deacon Jones Sack Leader Award,
got
Myles Garrett, the Browns defensive end.
Again. He gets a lot of chances.
He
to
does.
play for the Browns. Yep.
The
Well,
AP Assistant Coach of the Year was awarded to Josh McDaniels, Patriots offensive coordinator.
Is there a curse for that one too, Marcus?
I
think
don't
so.
know. Could be. And the Jim Brown Award, to wrap everything up for the awards, James Cook from the Bills, running back.
Yep.
He had a good
Yep.
season.
Absolutely.
Had a good season. Well, the much ballyhooed and highly anticipated 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, Italy, have arrived. Some events such as curling, ice hockey, and figure skating have been underway for a couple of days now, with preliminary action from northern Italy. The official start for the games came yesterday afternoon and evening at the Milano San Siro Olympic Stadium. Among the performers at the opening ceremony were Mariah Carey and legendary tenor Andrea Bocelli.
I tell you what, I saw him. He was in concert in Knoxville about 3-4 months ago.
Yeah.
He threw on a Tennessee jacket, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh, he's
it was like he
unbelievable.
Was awesome. Absolutely.
The evening culminated in the lighting of the Olympic cauldron.
That's the times we know how to put on a
You
good
do.
show.
You know how to party, don't you,
we
Tony?
know how to party and celebrate.
Yeah, but I've got a problem with the fact that these mascots, not that the Olympics I've ever been impressed with the mascots, but they're the first official Gen Z mascots.
Mm.
So apparently they've missed like half their performances because their Uber got stuck in traffic or something.
Never know.
Oh, boy.
Lord.
Well,
Uber. Gen Z.
with Bad Bunny featured in Super Bowl 60's halftime show, here is a partial list of halftime performers through the years. See how many of these you remember.
Yeah.
1967 was the University of Arizona and Grambling State marching bands.
Woo.
Yeah.
I do not recall that.
No, I don't either. 1969 was the Florida A&M University band. Moving on to 70, you had Carol Channing. So they stepped it up a little bit there.
You forgot
That's because
Al Hurt.
she was singing Hello Dolly.
Hello.
Carol
She had the big
Channing?
old eyes.
That was
Yeah.
1972, Tony. Carol Channing, Ella Fitzgerald, and Al Hurt.
Al Hurt was there. Okay, I remember
Yeah,
that. Al
sure
Hurt
was.
pulling that trumpet.
1974 was the Texas Marching Band. 74 through 87 were kind of very forgettable.
Yeah,
But let's
kinda
move on.
Kyle, yeah,
Let's
Kyle.
move on to 88. The Rockettes, Chubby Checker, and 88 grand pianos.
You're closing in on my favorite.
Yeah.
Getting closer.
91.
1991, New Kids on the Block.
Weren't you on there?
that
job,
was
Marcus.
that was when things started going down.
Yeah, no kidding. Moving on to 1993, Michael Jackson and 3,500 local children took the field for the halftime performance.
I don't even want to say anything about that.
Moving on. Moving on.
Just saying.
Future dates, all right.
1994, Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds.
That was one of the best
That
shows.
was a great, that's a great lineup
Would that
right
be
there.
would that technically be the last country one?
No,
I
Or
don't
is
think
there
so.
one?
Not quite.
not quite.
'Cause it's
but
been a while.
it
had.
was it was one of the last really good ones.
1995, Tony Bennett, Patti LaBelle, and the Miami Sound Machine, featuring Gloria Estefan.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You can sing it.
1996, Diana Ross. That was the 30th anniversary of the Super Bowl. 1997, James Brown and ZZ Top.
Uh-oh.
Boy, that's a little bit different, isn't it? 98, Boys to Men, Smokey Robinson, Queen Latifah, Martha Reeves, and the Temptations.
Man,
Boy, that was going.
you might be better off listing who they didn't let perform that
No
year.
kidding.
Yeah.
1999, Stevie Wonder, Gloria Estefan,
Yeah.
and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
I missed that one. Was that your favorite?
That's right up
movie?
Mike's
Voodoo
alley.
Daddy?
the '90s had that big band sound that got it was they were about.
Yeah,
The
I guess
NFL's
they-
got a thing about being about 3 years
They lost
behind
me
the
at
curve.
Chubby Checker.
Chubby Checker, that was it.
2001, Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, and Nelly.
Man, that's a lot to
That was
work in
pretty
at
good.
It
halftime.
is. It sure is. They can each sing part of a song
yeah.
that way. 2002, U2 performed.
Who two?
U2.
Who's YouTube?
That's the music that Apple puts on your phone for free.
YouTube?
Not YouTube.
Oh,
U2.
Oh, you too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
2003, Shania Twain, No Doubt, and Sting.
That's probably good.
That
Shania-
was
That would
good.
have been interesting. That one was an interesting arrangement.
2004, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Kid Rock, P. Diddy, and Nelly.
There was a malfunction.
That was
more-
the wardrobe malfunction.
More of Janet Jackson than they really wanted you to see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Janet was showing her Jackson.
2005, it was Paul McCartney.
Yeah, they got
That-
back to normal.
They
That
went.
was a
They
good
took
one.
the step
There you
back
go. They
after
said,
that
all
one.
right.
Do
Yes,
something
they
more.
did.
Do a little
Had
bit
to do some
calmer.
damage
Bring-
control.
Yeah.
bring in the
2007, Prince.
Purple Rain in the Rain.
Yes,
right?
in
pretty
the
good.
rain.
That was good.
2008, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
That was a good one
good
too.
one.
It
That
was. 2009, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
I don't
2010,
recall that one that much.
The Who.
The Who.
Who?
Yeah, you're right, The Who.
Okay.
2011, the Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash performed at
That was
halftime.
sort of like in the transition.
It
of
was.
that.
I remember. It was like Slash just kind of got worked in there. I was
Yeah,
like-
he did. Last minute work in.
It was.
He must have made a
The
deal
Black
with
Eyed
somebody.
the Black Eyed Peas were good.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
enjoyed
there
them.
was, yeah.
2012, Madonna was your halftime performer.
Uh-oh.
2013,
Did she keep everything on?
well, I
Yes.
hope
Yeah,
so.
okay, good.
2013, it was Beyonce.
Okay.
Beyonce Knowles.
Yeah, that was an okay one.
2014, Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I like that one.
That was pretty
I-
good.
That's
that
like
That was
the
a good
first.
one.
That was. I like the second part of that one. The first part with the moving around the
Yeah.
stadium thing was a little bit
You
weird.
like that when he starts playing the drums?
Yeah, that was a good one. 2015, Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, and Missy Elliott.
That's Mike's favorite.
Now, Katy Perry's introduction may it be one of the all-time
It could
showstoppers when she came
Mm-hmm.
out riding the giant cat.
Could very well be.
Oh, was that the? Okay.
That was like a 4-story cat she came riding out on
Yeah.
that they wheeled
And
out.
they had the sharks running around.
yeah.
2016, Coldplay, Beyonce again, and Bruno Mars again.
Okay.
2017, the stage was filled up by Lady Gaga.
She probably did a pretty good one.
It was a okay
Was
show.
that the one where she wore the meat costume?
I don't think so, but
2018, Justin Timberlake had
Again.
it all to himself.
There you go.
2019, Maroon 5, Travis Scott, and Big Boy. Rapper.
Yeah,
I gotta
that's
say I
your
don't
favorite,
even
isn't it?
remember that one.
Yeah.
Is that,
2020, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez shared the stage.
Wasn't that the one where nobody was? Was
Watch
it
it.
20 or 21 where we had nobody there?
20 would have been before
20,
COVID,
yeah,
right?
it'd have been 21 probably.
Okay.
Because 20 would have been like
20 was
2000
20 was before it went.
2022 was Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige.
That one just felt kludged together. I vaguely
Yeah, I
remember
do.
parts
well, that
of
was
that one.
the
they're
I
all
think-
sharing the same stage.
I was gonna say one of the best parts was they were California musicians in California that year, I think, right?
Yeah, but it was like it just felt like it was jumping around everywhere, trying to get everybody their 90 seconds.
Moving on to 2023, we had Rihanna taking the stage. 24 was Usher from Chattanooga.
Usher's from Chattanooga.
Yeah, he is. Usher, Alicia Keys, Will I Am. Anybody know who that is?
Yeah.
No way now.
Lil Jon
Little John.
and Ludacris.
Okay. How about that?
2025, Kendrick Lamar and SZA. Hey, spell her name for bonus points.
I know, but
All I can say is we
SZA.
turned the sound back on to watch the commercials. That's
Yeah.
all I can tell you about that one.
And 2026, Misbehaving Rabbit.
Misbehaving what?
Rabbit.
Little Birdie.
Bad
Or-
Bunny.
Little
Or,
birdie.
or you
Bad
can watch
Bunny.
the alternative show that's on streaming
There you
live
go.
on.
It'll be Kid Rock's second time performing the Super Bowl halftime.
All right, I've got one item from On This Day in Sports.
Only one.
Only one. Yep.
Okay.
There are others, but I only chose one because we had a long list of other things. Born on February the 7th, 1955, was SportsPage Hall of Famer Charlie Palaio. Happy birthday,
right.
Charlie.
Happy birthday, Charlie.
Woo, Charlie. That's right. Carol told me that to mention it. I forgot.
And 75 batters for the Houston Astros just said, happy birthday, Charlie. We love you.
Oh,
Charlie,
man.
get up here fast.
Come defend yourself, Charlie.
Yes, we got your back.
Well, that's all for this week's sports headlines, brought to you as always by Fast Signs. I'm Donnie Moore. Take it away, Gunner.
Hey, I'm Mike Edwards, and we're back on the sports page here. I'm with Donnie Moore and Marcus Fitzsimmons, Coach Tony Ierulli, and Caleb Giroux. And it's a Super Bowl, so we're going to have – Donnie's been through all the entertainers.
All the halftime
entertainers there. So we're going to take a little quiz. We're going to take a little quiz right here and see how much you guys know here. And I'm not going to go around. You just tell me the answers.
Okay.
All right, first one right here. The Super Bowl is the second biggest eating day. What's the first?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. There you go, Tony.
That was an
There
easy
we
one.
go.
When you're built like me, you know those days.
The first,
And you're Italian.
The first Super Bowl was played in 1967. Who was the loser?
It would be the Raiders.
New York Giants.
Or Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Kansas
Oh,
City
Yeah,
Chiefs.
Oakland was the
They've
second.
been good since the beginning.
Packers won.
Packers
Chiefs.
won.
Yeah.
Packers.
John, get a headphone on right there. This is my brother John. He's down here from Indiana. I'm going to let him in on some
John,
Super Bowl.
thank
We're
God
having-
you're here.
We're having a
Thank God you're here.
We're having Super Bowl quiz right here. Everybody's in it for themselves here. All right, two teams have won 6 Super Bowls. What two teams have won 6 Super Bowls?
New England and San Francisco.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. There
Dang,
you go.
I can't believe I missed
There
that
you
one.
go.
Oh,
There you
crap,
go.
I'm in trouble now. Sorry.
Price of the first Super Bowl ticket.
25 cents.
$20.
Nope.
$6.25.
Nope.
$10.
Nope.
Close.
First,
Can't this be like Price is
1967.
Right? Don't we get an arrow saying higher, higher, lower?
1967.
$7.50.
7. Nope. Not anymore.
I'm going to say it's $2.50.
$12.
$12.
Oh, I was close.
$12.
I'd lived
Tom
in
was
the
close.
past.
He had
Price
$10
is right.
up
I've
there.
been
There
in
you
the
go.
big into the deal.
The Super Bowl is named the Super Bowl. What NFL owner was responsible for the Super Bowl's name? And what was the Super Bowl named after?
Was it
Super Bowl.
Lamar
Bouncy
Hunt?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
It was the Chiefs owner,
Lamar Hunt.
Lamar Hunt.
Yep.
There you go.
Really?
John Edwards.
I'm learning
John
something
Edwards.
today.
Good deal.
Named after a toy, the Super Bowl toy.
I think
Yeah,
I
how
lost
about
this
that?
trivia before it even started.
How many shutouts have there been in the Super Bowls?
None.
None. None. We're still waiting.
Ooh.
We're
This
still
could be the year.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. None.
Yeah. How many people yearly watch the Super Bowl? Roughly.
25 million.
Nope.
31.
125 million.
$1
Nope.
billion.
1 million?
$1 billion.
1 billion? Nope. Anybody else?
2,800 and no.
Good grief.
100 million.
I was off by a
100 million.
zero.
100
Yes, you
million.
were.
Rounding
That was
error.
close.
That was
That's a good one.
close.
How many balls are used in the Super Bowl? How many balls do they use in the
Oh.
Super Bowl? The average amount of balls that they use in a Super Bowl.
Depends if Brady's playing.
7.
7?
24.
Nope.
100.
Nope.
50.
Nope.
10.
Nope.
It can't be too many now. They're putting chips in 'em.
120 balls on the average they use in a Super Bowl. You know, you could just
Oh,
use
close.
one ball
Wow.
out there and sell it. This ball was used in the Super Bowl.
They're
Mike,
trying to make
that's
money.
why they do it, because
Wow.
they
Yeah,
use it for a
close.
play and then they throw it in the basket so they can, but you know, the winning team gets so many, the losing team gets so
Good
many, and they
grief.
sell so many.
Yeah. Player with the most Super Bowl wins.
Brady.
Tom
Brady.
Brady, how many?
7.
7. Good.
How
Good.
about that? How about that? That's
The first brothers to play in a Super Bowl. First brothers.
Kelsey.
Manning.
Kelsey brothers. Travis and Jason.
No, I thought.
No, was it Manning?
Wouldn't it be Manning's?
Well, the Kelsey
brothers
played against each other,
Oh,
right?
we played against.
Oh,
okay.
played in the game. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was Eagles Chiefs.
Played in the game.
You just need to clarify.
Yeah. This is like a courtroom. We got to have exact.
What team played in 4 Super Bowls and never had a lead?
Buffalo Bills.
Nope.
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
There you go, John Edwards. Yeah.
Very
Bud
good.
Grant took him to
Bud
the Super
Grant.
Bowl with
Never had a
Fran,
lead.
with Fran Tarkington and all the
Yeah.
high hopes.
Took it on the chin every year.
Never led in a game. Led in 4 Super Bowls. That's disappointing. Not win. You just didn't lead. Couldn't kick the first field goal or anything.
Bud Grant, why did he always lick his fingers?
I don't know.
Well, if you lived in Minnesota, you'd be licking your fingers.
Yeah.
I thought that contributed to frostbite.
Prevent frostbite.
They're
Yeah.
old.
Most games won by a head coach.
6.
Tom, what's his name? Bill Parcells.
Nope.
No.
It's not Belichick. is it?
Bill
Belichick
Belichick.
That's what I
9.
said. It came out Parcells.
9.
That
Belichick's
was my
won
third
9.
9.
Good grief.
Now, how do you keep a guy out of the Hall of Fame that's won 9 Super Bowls? Nobody else has done that. What are they thinking here?
He had a bad year at North Carolina.
Well, yeah, but that, I mean, yeah, and he married what, the
he had a
18,
young-
19-year-old girl
Yeah,
or
he's
whatever?
got a younger girlfriend than all the voters.
Yeah, I guess, but 9 Super Bowls, that ought to get you in, shouldn't it?
I don't know. If
I
that
think.
doesn't, I don't know what does.
Get you a young date.
A lot of money.
Jealousy is a
And a
terrible thing,
motorcycle.
guys. Jealousy is a terrible thing.
You speak up anytime.
And a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He's not coaching at Arkansas.
I
though.
know.
No, he's not in Arkansas.
What coach has the most losses in a Super Bowl?
Bud Grant.
Bud Grant. He's not the only one.
Really?
Oh, the
No.
guy for the Bills.
The Buffalo
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, the guy from the
Saban.
Bills.
Who's the?
Buffalo.
The one who coached
Saban,
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Not Saban.
No.
North Carolina hired Petrino.
I know who you're thinking.
Yeah.
You're trying to say Marv Levy.
Marv Levy.
That's who-
Marv Levy.
There's 2 more.
With 4 losses.
Yes.
Oh, that would be the.
Would it be Tom Landry?
Nope. This guy played for Landry.
I'm blanking on this.
Dan Reeves.
Yeah.
Dan Reeves
Oh,
and
Dan
Don
Reeves.
Shula. Don Shula. 4. They had
Yeah,
4.
Oh, he had 4.
Don
losses.
Shula had 4 losses.
Yeah.
These are
My
tricky.
goodness.
Tricky.
Well, you've done good with this.
Most intercepted. A quarterback that's had the most interceptions in the total games that he's played in a Super Bowl. Not one game, but total games that he
Right.
played.
Manning.
He had 8 interceptions in all the Super Bowls.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly.
That's a good one. That's not
that's
it.
not it.
But that's a good one.
I just think the Seattle game with Manning seems like it was 8, but it wasn't.
But he played in multiple.
Yeah.
It would be quarterback for the Cowboys.
This quarterback is now associated with Denver.
Elway?
Oh,
Elway. John
Yeah.
Elway.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that one.
Way to go, Marcus.
Total games played. What player has scored the most touchdowns? I'll give you a hint. The player is a receiver.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
Very good.
There you go.
That's
John.
where I was,
Very
where I was
good.
headed.
Very good.
All right. How many punt returns in a Super Bowl? All the Super Bowls. How many punt returns have been taken back for touchdowns?
1.
Nope.
No.
6.
Nope.
0.
0. In all the Super Bowls, there's never
I
been
thought
a
there would've been
touchdown.
It's almost like these teams are good.
On a punt return.
Oh, a
that's been
punt. I was thinking kick
a
return.
punt return that's been
Devin
returned.
Hester. Yeah, I was thinking kick return.
Devin Hester.
Punt returns,
Move.
yeah. The average ticket cost for a Super Bowl this year.
4,300.
It's close.
4,000.
5,000.
5,000.
Oh.
Oh, that,
5,000.
you can take the
There you
family
go,
out this
Tony.
year.
There you go.
Hey,
Just
just because I majored in PE. All right.
All right.
Doesn't mean that.
to make sure that Donnie didn't waste our time here in the 15 minutes that he talked about all the people that sung and performed at the Super Bowl. Who was the first singer to perform at a Super Bowl?
Oh.
Singer.
The first singer to perform at a Super Bowl.
Oh, it was the one in '72.
Frankie Valli.
One in 72.
Well, they're not going to ask
72.
him back.
Carol Channing.
What, Marcus?
I don't know. He's
Channing.
doing good.
Carol Channing.
Channing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello,
Oh,
Donnie.
I've got Donnie's
That's
notes.
right,
sitting
looking at
there.
1970.
Hello. With the big eyes. Hello, darling.
Yeah.
Because she
Carol
did 70
Channing.
and 72.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Okay, I'm going to go off the cuff right here before we get back to the
okay.
Super Bowl.
Keep it clean.
What? They've got an IndyCar race that's going to happen in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When?
I don't know how they're going to have it this
In August,
August the
yeah.
21st through the 23rd. I don't know how they're going to get it all set up, but they're going to have it.
Yeah.
When was the last time they had a race in Washington D.C.?
The British are coming. 1812.
You mean besides a political race?
Well, no, not a political. The first another race.
British are coming.
The other. What was the last race besides this one that was running in Washington D.C.?
Gosh, I have no idea.
No clue.
The racing to get out of Washington when the British attacked.
Anybody?
I got nothing.
1801. It was a horse race.
Hey, before
Well, that
yours,
wasn't, that wasn't fair.
Same century. Get that out.
Tony was closest.
I watched it.
the White House had not burned down.
I was there.
Yeah.
Mike, where are they going? Are they going to take him around the Beltway?
I don't know. My brother and I was talking about. I don't know what they're going to. Sometimes it takes a few years to set up a race.
Nashville took
you
a
got
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. and now that
Sometimes
we're
it
talking
takes a few years to make a trip around the Beltway.
Maybe
And
they
I'm
they'll
sure it's going to be
race.
called the Trump Classic.
They can race around the White House while the UFC fight's going on.
I guess.
Yeah,
And
but-
it's, well, listen, it's
But
free.
there's concrete barriers out
It's
there.
free.
Wow.
We can go and have our sports page at the race, and it's
on
free.
site.
I see a road trip coming on.
Road trip.
But when somebody wrecks and goes through the hay bales and goes through the lobby of the Smithsonian, I've got to think
Yeah,
that's
I
a
don't
bad
know. Or
thing.
knocks the Washington Monument down, or I don't know how they're going to set all of that up. I mean, I don't know who's in charge, but I mean that's going to be a big.
I mean, I'd like to see what happens when they hit some of those potholes on those streets.
Yeah, yeah.
Or how do you pass somebody on a road that was meant for horses?
Yeah,
This is true.
I don't know.
Good
I
point,
guess they
good
can run them up through Arlington Cemetery. That'd be interesting.
Oh,
Across the
yeah.
bridge.
Wait a
There's
minute.
Got
The
a bridge.
question
Don't they have
is-
a bridge?
Yeah.
The question is, can you pass somebody on a road made for horses? And the answer is nay.
I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, God.
You know what? He
Hey,
was waiting for that.
oh my.
He was.
My.
In fact, in his
Donnie, go
notes.
back to the halftime entertainment.
He just came
Listen,
up with that, didn't he?
I guess.
I mean,
What do you do with all the cars in Washington? You've been to Washington. You can't see the pavement from the cars, and they're going to run a race. Where are they going to put all the cars?
I
The
don't
regular.
know.
Where are they going to put all the regular cars?
Well-
where are they going to park?
That's why it's in August, because nobody stays in Washington for August.
That's right. Yeah.
summer recess.
Good
Yeah,
point.
Congress won't be in
I
session.
mean,
Good
they,
point.
they take that break for Labor Day. It's not because
Yeah.
of the holiday. It's because it's too unbearably hot there.
I guess.
Swamp.
I think it's a setup.
Set up.
They got 3/4 of the drivers in the field are foreigners. There are going to be a lot of them coming in.
Oh,
they
let's
they
not
all
go
got to
there.
show their driver's license.
No.
And the guy speak English.
So John's saying there's not going to be a race. They're going to have them all in jail or somewhere,
Right.
deported or something.
Pretty much.
Oh man.
Well, let's
You
hope
got to
not.
show your ID.
Bring your green card.
Yeah.
Somebody take us to break.
Yeah. Hey, it's time for a break. When we
Gotta get outta
return,
here.
we'll be back to close out today's show. You're listening to the GoTeez SportsPage, and now stay tuned for the best in local sports.
The Roger L. Newman Company began in 1984 with a vision of providing Blount County with excellent heating and cooling service. Mr. Newman also wanted a real business. No gimmicks and no high-pressure sales. They just fix it or replace it. They want to stay within your budget and make you comfortable. Their motto still stands true today. Call us first, we'll be there. Call Roger L. Newman Company at 982-5446 or visit online at rogerlnewman.com. Cooler temperatures are approaching. Upgrade your furnace now for as little as $50 a month. For over 50 years and 3 generations, the people of Blount County have trusted Stevenson Tire with their vehicles and their families. Our mission has always been simple: to provide quality products at reasonable prices with exceptional customer service. Featuring tire products from Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, Firestone, and Yokohama, Stevenson Tire also offers alignment and brake services at affordable prices. Stevenson Tire Company, 2411 East Broadway Avenue in Maryville. Call 983-1621 or online at stevensontire.net.
Welcome back to the Bluetick Tavern in downtown Maryville. This is Mike Edwards, the Greenfield Gunner, and I'm here with Donnie Moore and Coach Tony Ierulli and Caleb Giroux and Marcus Fitzsimmons and my brother John Edwards. And I got a couple questions for my brother because he's fresh down here from Indiana, and he's still coming down from Indiana winning the national championship in football. And I got to ask him, and Tony, you can chime right in here, but Fernando Mendoza, and that touchdown run where he stretched that ball across the end zone. Have you ever been around a more exciting play at a more precise time to win a football game, put your team in a position to win a football game than that particular play? Tony, I'll let you go first.
Play. Now, I know the assistant defensive line coach at Miami, and he told me they were expecting that play, and they called a defensive stunt to twist, and those guys didn't get the call. So they just came straight up field, and then which was a perfect situation, and then he just did the quarterback. They were expecting the quarterback draw, and they were going to twist people, but they didn't do it, and he just went upfield.
Right.
And and that's going to be the play of all time for Indiana.
What a competitor. What a competitor.
Oh, absolutely.
When Fernando made that touchdown, I'm picturing the state of Indiana. You got Ohio on this side and Illinois on this side. I know it erupted, and I know that state wouldn't – there's no way it would shift to the Ohio side with Ohio State being over there. But I can imagine everybody in Indiana was absolutely beside themselves on that touchdown run. I could see the state, moving over and covering Illinois on that deal. That was an unbelievable play.
It was unbelievable. And you know what I'm really happy about is that Lee Corso got to see Indiana win a national championship in football. I mean, it was so exciting. And my youngest son being a graduate at IU, and to spend that and share that with him. He was in the athletic training program and spent time with the football team while he was there, and they were not very good. So that was a special moment to spend with him. But I think that the fact that Lee Corso was still around, but it was just a wonderful thing for the state of Indiana, and it was a good story for the whole country.
For a moment in time, a brief moment in time, there was no Indiana basketball in that moment.
Right.
It was all about Indiana football. Yeah. And it just couldn't be a better situation for a state that was just been hungry. I mean, you think they haven't won any championships.
Right.
67. 67, they won a Big Ten championship and went to the Rose Bowl. They didn't win it outright. I think they tied.
Yeah.
But they hadn't been to the Rose Bowl.
But maybe except for that year and that winning season with Corso, that's been it.
That's been it.
And it was just wonderful.
Well, it made getting tickets very difficult.
I can imagine.
To say we didn't get any tickets at all this year. But it was nice to, when we would go, it'd be half full, maybe 3/4 full of Penn State or Michigan or whoever was in town, and to see that stadium full to the top was just unbelievable. But that campus, of course, Bloomington's just really a cool place. Was just booming the whole season.
Tony, you think about all the schools that, with the IRL or NIL. I'm in racing, but NIL and transfer portal and everything, and the money's being thrown at college sports now, and teams trying to get in the playoffs and win a national championship. It's almost unbelievable that a team that hadn't won anything in a short time, in 2 years, has used the transfer portal and brought in a brand new coach and did what they – I mean, it's just almost – if somebody was telling you that, you would say you'd be making it all up.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed the demographics of college football in terms of now you can go ahead. If you got the money and the resources, you can go ahead and put together a team by being able to outbid other players and other programs and get a team in there and all that.
Yeah.
And you look at their key players. I mean, they all started somewhere else, and Mendoza and the other players, and all of a sudden, but it takes a head coach to be able to put this thing together and do it properly. I mean, it takes. That's why, in my day when I started off in coaching at the Division I level, you just had 9 coaches.
Right.
Now you look on the coaching staffs. I mean, there's about 35 to 40 coaches, all taking care of different responsibilities.
Do you think this, with Indiana winning the national championship in football, has given other schools that may not have the money as some of the Texases or the Tennessees or the Oklahomas, and I can go on there. Do you think it's given them hope to say, hey, we can, if we get the right personnel in here, because they didn't have any 4 and 5 star players. I mean, they won this national championship with 3-star players.
Yeah.
We're not talking about 5-star players that you're paying the big money after. Do you think it give these schools that don't have the money as some of the others hope to do what Indiana did?
Well, yeah. I mean, nowadays it's you're exactly right. It's the programs that have the money. Let's do it. A lot of your oil well states, Texas, Louisiana. They got all that oil money and all that, but that takes big time donors. Like Indiana has that guy that's on one of those TV shows,
right? The shark guy, Mark Cuban.
I mean, he's a big sponsor for that, and that's what it takes. I mean, you just got to every year you've got to be able to draw on those resources.
And another thing about Indiana is they surely weren't broke, but instead of like some of these schools spending a lot of money on 3 or 4 good players, Indiana spent their money on everybody. So you get even talent and guys who want to work hard.
You can spend all the money you want, but if you don't have players that buy into the program and really have their back, your coach's back, and really that's really what it came down to.
Those players were hungry. They're 3-star players. They're not 5-star players looking for a big payoff. You can take a 3-star guy that's hungry and maybe not pay him as much money, but it's a lot of money to him.
Right.
Because he wasn't getting very much.
And then you spread that out across your roster, and all of a sudden you spent a lot of money, but you've spread it out, and everybody is
happy.
And nobody, nobody in the locker room is like, man, I don't want to play because Johnny's making $3 million and I'm making $5,000.
And it takes a program with a special coach to put it all together.
Absolutely.
All right, Signetti. Signetti's from a coaching family. IUP. His father was the head coach of West Virginia, who followed Bobby Bowden, and so he's got a family history of.
For those of you that don't know about Kurt Signetti, Google him.
He's a character.
Google him.
Yeah.
I interviewed him with
Charlie said he enjoyed listening to you and Tony talk about that '68 World Series. Said he really enjoyed that.
All right.
What about the Astros?
The birthday. Well, he also said not funny, Marcus.
Yeah. All right, Donnie.
All right, here we go.
Hey, that'll do it for today's edition of the GoTeez SportsPage. Thanks to Aaron Ishmael back at the Loud Media, our host, the Bluetick Tavern, and all our sponsors. Until next Saturday, this is Mike Edwards, the Greenfield Gunner, wishing everyone good sports.
And that's the final whistle. Join us again next Saturday for the GoTeez SportsPage. The best in local sports since 1978.